Okay, yeah, so it looks like we are recording now. So just let everyone know we are going to record this orientation, mostly so that the people that are not here, even though they won't have an opportunity to ask questions, at least they'll hear what we're saying. And then also I'll make the link for the recording available to you and everyone else so that if you are, and I know you are intently listening right now, but if you miss something and you're like, oh, what, wait, they said something around the 10-minute mark, I gotta figure out what it was, you won't miss it. You can go back and, God forbid, listen to my voice for another hour and find what you were listening, you wanted to hear again. So anyhow, that's why we're recording it, is so that you just don't miss anything. All right. I want to welcome everybody to the ultrasound program. This has been a journey for you already just to get here. I know a lot of you have waited quite a while to get into the program, so I want to applaud your persistence. Just 2 more short years and you'll be at the end of the program, so that's the good news. And the bad news is, in the meantime, those 2 years are going to be very, very difficult. This is not an easy program. One of the things I'm so proud of my profession, sonographers, because if you've ever seen anybody do an ultrasound, and I'm going to assume everybody has or you wouldn't be here, sonographers make this job look very easy, and it is not. It is not easy at all. It's a very difficult thing to do, but a good sonographer just makes it look like it's just like breathing. In the next 2 years, we hope to take you from perhaps not knowing anything about ultrasound to being really an entry-level sonographer that's capable of going out, getting a job, and then really learning the profession. So that's our goal for the next 2 years. With that, we're going to start tonight with talking a little bit about the program and hopefully getting you guys oriented to what we're doing. Danielle, I have a short presentation if you want me to go through that, or we can just dive right into what's on the agenda.
Uh, you're the boss, whatever you want.
I always worry about these things because it probably will bore people to death, but
How short is it? Well, I'm only saying because last year we were supposed to have a short presentation at the beginning and it
yeah,
lasted an hour.
yeah, it won't be an hour.
Okay.
That we don't have student services with us today for that reason. All right, so oops, let me go back to the beginning of this. There we go. All right, so welcome to the orientation. I'm going to try to make sure that this goes as quickly as we can. I want to introduce you to the three faculty that are part of this. Oops, let me do something here real quick. Tab. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So the three faculty that mostly run the program are myself. I'm Brian Dodd. I've been doing ultrasound. This is my 40th year of doing ultrasound. April is my anniversary month, so it's been 40 years and a month now. I started doing ultrasound at the wee age of 4, so I'm still very young. And that's absolutely not true. But it has been a long journey for me. I don't want to talk too much about myself. With us also we have Danielle and Tabitha. Danielle is our clinical coordinator. She is in charge of making sure you guys get to the clinical sites and do your work there. I'm going to let her talk a little bit about herself in a second, and I want to introduce you to Tabitha Hatfield, or Tabby as we all call her. And Tabby is been working in our program for a number of years. She is also the program director for the CT and MRI programs at Gateway Community College. And Tabby is also my boss currently. She is the chair of our division. So she's a good person to know, and she's a very good instructor. So those are the three faculty that basically run the program for you. We have a couple of adjuncts that also are part of the program, Lori Schaefer, and we have a Danielle Cordair who does our musculoskeletal. So a couple of adjuncts, but mostly the three of us. Danielle, do you want to say anything about yourself to introduce yourself to the students?
I'll just say hi. I'm Danielle. I'm sure you've gotten lots of emails from me already. Welcome to the program, and look forward to working with you in the fall.
Tabby, do you want to add anything?
About Danielle or myself?
Either one.
She's good.
Or even me.
Hi, guys. I'm Tabby Hatfield. I've been in imaging for 20 years, so I guess collectively I think, Danielle, you've been around about that long too?
Well, I graduated X-ray school in '97, so.
So we have about 80 years of experience between the three of us, so you should be in good hands of the ultrasound world. You guys don't see me a lot. I work a lot more closely with the senior students than I do the junior students, so you'll get to meet me in cross-sectional anatomy, but then you won't really have me until your vascular courses start, because that's primarily what I teach in the ultrasound program. So just know that I am here and available to help you. I'll probably pop into your lab and you'll wonder who the heck I am that just kind of made themselves at home, but it'll be me. But looking forward to a new class starting. It's always fun to have new students.
Great. All right, so we'll just skip that one. I want to know if anybody has allergies. If you can send me an email if you do, and it's either food allergies or peanut allergies, things like that, nut allergies. We want to make sure that we keep those kind of foods away from you if you have those allergies when we're in the lab, and then particularly if you have a latex allergy. Okay, if someone has a latex allergy, please let me know, because I do have a lot of latex products in the lab, and we'll get those out of there before you start the lab in August. So just send me an email. You don't have to tell me tonight. Notify me, and then I'll make sure that I clear out the whatever it is that we need to. If you have a work allergy, well, you're just going to have to get over that one. All right. Want to make sure everybody knows that the only way we are allowed to make contact with you through email is through your Maricopa email account, which you can access at accounts.maricopa.edu. If you have your email at a different account, that's fine. Just make sure that you forward your Maricopa email to whatever account you're actually using. I won't respond to emails I receive from your personal accounts. I won't respond to that account. I will always respond to any email, but I will only respond to you through your Maricopa email. That's done for security purposes. They want to make sure that anything we talk to you about on email is kept secure, and our Gmail accounts are secured. That's why we use them. They don't go out as plain text over the internet, which a lot of email does. I want to make sure you are all aware that class registration is your responsibility. Each student has to enroll for classes. I cannot enroll you into a course. However, if you have trouble, if you try to enroll in a course and for some reason you're unable to, then get me involved, and I know who to contact to make things happen so that we can get you enrolled in something that you might be having trouble with. In addition to having to enroll in courses, you're also responsible for payments for those courses. If you have financial aid issues, again, you're responsible to take care of it. However, if problems arise, get me involved early so that I can help you with either. Really what I'll do is I'll tell you who to talk to. Okay, but get me involved so that we get you on the right track right away. If you are doing your payments for your courses by like a monthly payment or an installment plan, whatever they have, I'm not sure exactly what it is. If you miss the first payment, you get a grace period, and they'll work with you to make sure that you are able to pay after that. However, if you miss the second one, if it happens twice, they actually remove you from your courses, and that becomes a problem because the information that we keep on you will disappear. So if I've got grades for you through the first half of the semester and you miss a payment or two and they drop you from your courses, all my grades and everything disappear. So that can be a real issue. Just want to let you know about that. Okay. And so this is a little more information on the grace period. If you're on a payment plan, the first time it's late, you get an extension. After that, you're removed from the courses, and that is when it becomes a problem. We are able to sometimes get you re-enrolled if you make the payment, but a lot of times your information in the system is gone, and so that's why it's a real problem. Okay. Everything we do in the classroom is carried on Canvas. So the email address for Canvas is learn.maricopa.edu. I know Danielle has set you up with a Canvas course that has given you some information already, so you should be a little bit familiar with navigating Canvas, but I want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable navigating Canvas, and if you don't, we can get you in touch with Student Life to have them help you walk through it. In Canvas, you'll find all your courses and the syllabi for your courses. When you log in, you'll always log in with your Maricopa Enterprise ID. MEID is what we call it. And that simply, the Maricopa Enterprise ID is just that funky first 3 letters of your first name followed by some random numbers after it at maricopa.edu. That's that MEID. I want to let you know the MEID is a public, it's considered public information, so that we can basically publish it. It can go out into email mixed with not only you, but maybe to our clinical sites, to people that in the sonography community. We can include your MEID with that because it is considered public information. You have another informational number called the student ID, and that is I believe it's a 6-digit number, 6 or 7-digit number that starts with a 3. That's private. Do not ever send that via email. It can be misused, And so make sure that your student ID is always kept private for you. The only time I use student IDs is when I'm communicating directly to enrollment services or somebody that needs that information. Just want to briefly touch on laboratory orientation, which we are going to go into more when you get started in August. There is no Maricopa dress code, so technically you can wear whatever you want. However, in our lab for the program, you will wear the blue scrubs that we have. You'll also wear those blue scrubs when you go to clinicals. And that is basically your uniform for the program when you're in our labs. If you're in just the classroom, you don't have to worry about it. There's a set of release forms. I think I included them for you to review before the orientation. The release forms, I will print those out for you and have them available for you on the first day of class, where that's when you'll sign them. And the release forms will are basically saying things like you're responsible for getting to clinicals. You're responsible for, let me see what that is. Is there somebody showing up?
No, it's Tabby. She said closed shoes for the lab. No flip-flops, no sandals.
Oh.
And keep your shoes on the whole entire lab.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't have the, I can't see the discussion screen right now. Probably should.
I'll just interject.
Yeah, okay. Anyhow, we'll have the release forms for you to sign. You can ask questions about those at any point, and we'll also go over them on that first day. Clinical site orientation, again, we're going to be wearing scrubs at clinical sites. One thing I do want to cover there, if you're injured or in an incident at your clinical site, you do need to have medical insurance to cover that. This is a federal law, so there's nothing we can do about that, but basically just make sure that you have some kind of medical insurance for injury. We keep track of all of our clinicals through a system called Trajexis, and we'll be sending you a link to register yourself on Trajexis as we get closer to August. We don't want to do this before August because you don't want to get charged anything extra. So there's a time period that you can enroll in Trajexis, and we want to make sure that that stays within the right amount of time. So you'll get that information in August. Some other resources available. We have on campus an NAU representative. At least we used to have an NAU representative. If you're interested in a bachelor's degree in addition to the associate's or certificate that we offer, you can get one through NAU online while you're going through the program. Our library is available online and also in person. It had been closed for COVID, but now it's back open, so you can utilize the library as much as you want. Some other online resources. The library has a great database that you may get into. It allows you things like access to things like the National Institute of Health and PubMed, which are search engines that will find medical journal articles for you to help you with your education. Another online resource is Wikipedia. A lot of people say don't use Wikipedia because everything on there is put in by the community that uses it, so it could be false information. Who knows? I think that was true probably when Wikipedia started. If you look now, Wikipedia is very well resourced, and there's a lot of good information on there. I recommend it as a starting point. If you don't know anything about something, you can go there. It'll get you going in the right direction. So if you're wondering what the inflammatory response is or something like that, certainly go to Wikipedia, get started on it. It has other resources you can go to. So to me, it's a good thing. But a lot of people don't want, a lot of educators don't want you using it. I'd have to disagree with them. That's pretty self-explanatory. Learning styles. Everybody has their own learning style. If you are curious about them, you can go to Student Services, and Student Services will help you with tutoring and other issues that will help you with the studying part of going through the program. I want to say there's also, in addition to Student Services, there's also counseling services available on campus, and we'll get you more information on that. If you're having personal issues, you can't learn anything if your life is a mess. So we have counselors that'll help you, and you can always go on to the website gatewaycc.edu and get in touch with the counseling services, but they are free. Everything Student Services offers is free. So there's a lot of good stuff out there or on campus that is free to you to help you. So again, if you're having personal issues, go to counseling. If you're having issues with studying, go to Student Services. They're both on campus and very, very much there to help you, and they're free. So they're good stuff. Expectations, have respect for each other. Absolutely have respect for your patients. The clinical instructors you're going to run into, the hospital staff. And when you think of the hospital staff, I hope you have as much respect for the physicians, nurses, other sonographers as you do for the people that clean the floors there. Because believe me, if you've been to a hospital that is not clean and it just is a disastrous place to be, have as much respect for those people cleaning it as you do for the doctors. They're just as important. So make sure you have respect for everybody. Show up. That's 90% of getting everything done, is just participating and being active with it. And we do expect participation. If you just sit there and you don't get active, you're not going to learn. So get active and do things. In our world, you might have heard of us referred to as ultrasound techs. We consider ourselves sonographers. The difference is an ultrasound tech is somebody that pushes buttons. A sonographer is a professional. So the diagnostic medical sonographer, which is what I am, is certified by the ARDMS. That is the professional standard. We'll talk more about this in our DMS 110 class. They're also certified by the Registry of Radiologic Technologists, and the Professional Society for Sonographers is the SDMS, the Society for Diagnostic Medical Sonographers. If you're still curious about this profession, about what you can do in the profession, where you can go after you graduate, go to the SDMS and look on their website. They've got lots of good information there. It's also a pretty good place to maybe join up and become part of the society. The SDMS is the professional organization that is completely dedicated to sonographers. That's their job. That's our profession. All right, I think that's about it for the presentation. I'm going to have a drink and we'll just talk about some other stuff now.
while we have this little break too, I just wanted you to let you know that the library, if you don't have printers at home, once you're on campus, you can go to the library and print off any school materials that you need to free of charge. So just heads up on that.
Do they have a limit on how much printing that can be done?
I don't know if it's a limit it's unlimited, but it might be limited if there's a long line. Like you might have to print so many and then go to the end of the line and then print some more. But it is an unlimited printing at the Biblioteca.
Cool. All right. Let's see. I sent you a list of the books that we're going to be using for the courses. That list is still current.
It's also in Canvas shell.
Okay. There's a couple of, I want to pull that up if I can find it. There's a couple of books I want to mention on it. The abdominal, the book for your DMS 120, the book for obstetrics and gynecology, and the vascular book. Those 3 books, you'll be using them for more than one semester, so don't rent them. Okay, rental is fine, but remember, you've got to have those books for multiple semesters, and so the cost of renting will be more than buying it, so don't rent them. The physics book you'll be using for one semester, plus you'll be using it in the review course, and I'm going to leave it up to you whether you rent it or not. First off, I can tell you everybody hates physics, so they don't want the book around their house. And you may not need it for the review course. But on the other hand, you have to take a registry exam with the ARDMS specifically in physics, ultrasound physics, and so you may want a reference for it. So, whether you rent it or buy it is going to be up to you. But we have you get these books not just because we need them for the courses, but they're also pretty good references for your future. And the fact that you have to take registry exams before you start working, at least in abdomen and vascular, and certainly the physics, it's something to think about. Now, you can rent the physics book and then take the registry exam for physics in the first semester. You can take that immediately if you want to do that. But not recommended, but you certainly can do it. Okay. So I just wanted to mention that about the books, that some of them are used for more than one semester. We do that on purpose so that you don't have to keep buying new books every semester. Okay, we briefly talked about Canvas already. Danielle has set up a Canvas course for you for orientation. Does anyone have any questions about Canvas before we move on here? Like, I don't know, any questions? Have you all used it before? Has anyone not used it, have no idea what it does?
Also, just so you know that the classes that you take for fall, you won't have access to them in Canvas until about the time the class starts. So don't be looking in the Canvas shell for fall classes in the summer. The only one you should have access to right now is with the Canvas shell that I put all the information from orientation and whatnot.
Yeah, the Canvas courses are published, quote unquote published, when the instructor pushes the button to say this is now a live course. So you won't have access to it until then. And sometimes we're working till the very last minute to get things put together for you. All right, our next topic is health and safety. And so when we say health and safety, we're talking about the safety of our clinical sites. There she is. So Val is now joining us. So health and safety is the process of making sure that you're healthy and can go to a clinical site. All right. Our hospitals do not want sick people working there. So you have to pass a certain amount of scrutiny before you can go to a clinical site. And what that scrutiny is, we call it health and safety. And it basically is making sure that you have your vaccinations, your background checks completed, and we'll also have a drug testing check for you before you start the program. Danielle's going to give you a little bit more information here in a minute on the health and safety, but what I want to say is directly about the drug testing part of this. In the state of Arizona, marijuana is not only legal now, but it is also it's legal for medicinal purposes. So you may have a medical card in order to use marijuana for whatever purpose that your doctor has found fit for that. However, even though it's legal in Arizona, you cannot use marijuana in any way, shape, or form and go to clinical sites. The sonographer is considered a sensitive position by the state, and if you've ever read the state law on marijuana, sensitive positions are exempt from the fact that marijuana is legal. So that's just to say, I'll simplify this for you. We will test you for marijuana, and if you're positive, then you will no longer be allowed to go to clinical sites, and you will not be able to complete the program. So please don't use it. It will invalidate your whole purpose of being here. When you go to work in sonography, you'll find that they test people there too. So, it's not just us. It's something that can happen. You can be tested by your workplace, and it'll go on for the rest of your career too. So, even though marijuana is legal, you can't use it. Don't even try. Okay, Danielle, do you want to talk about health and safety?
Sure.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a whole slew of vaccines you're required to get in order to be, and this is welcome to healthcare. Any job you're going to get, MMR. You need, we need to get a whooping cough vaccine. Those all, if you go into your Canvas shells, guys should be working on that as soon as possible. Some of you will also be, even if you show that you had an MMR vaccine, maybe when you were 2, I'm going to guess 30% of you are no longer immune and you're going to have to get revaccinated. So please be working on that as soon as possible. After we get off of this, this orientation, I'm going to open up a Canvas module under Complio where you can start registering for Complio, and you're going to get a background check right away, and then you're going to sign up for the immunization tracker, and I want you to start uploading those as soon as you get them done, because it does take a while for somebody to double check everything and everything has to be uploaded into Complio by August 5th. If it's not uploaded by August 5th, you may not be able to start the program in August. So make sure you are well aware of the strict August 5th deadline to get everything uploaded. The only thing that can be in progress is the hepatitis B vaccination. Everything else should be done and uploaded. CPR needs to be uploaded. Your proof of your TB test needs to be uploaded. I just want to make sure we're all under the same page. August 5th, strict deadline. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everything you will find that you need is in that Canvas shell that tells you the specific type of CPR you need. So make sure you look at those Canvas shells and follow directions. You're going to need to get a physical exam. Paperwork is in the Canvas shell for you to print off. TB form that you need to upload. The thing is that you need to have certain forms uploaded into Complio because only those forms will be accepted for TB and your physical. So make sure that you go over that Canvas shell very carefully. I spent a lot of time spelling things out for you. And then if you're having problems, you're going to see, I will in Complio who you need to contact that if you're having problems uploading stuff in Complio. And they do have online office hours that you can talk to somebody about if you're having issues. But the other thing is that you need to also check in Complio after you uploaded it, because so many students think they uploaded it properly and they didn't. So you need to log back in, check the progress, making sure that it was accepted and it wasn't rejected. That's also on you. Sometimes they email you that says it was rejected, but not all the time. You just might get a thing that says, no, this is not acceptable. That's also why we need to be very careful about, as soon as you get it done, just upload it to Complio. Don't let it sit and wait and go, oh, I got until August 5th. It will be fine. Because the people checking it too, you got to remember, there's 24 of you. Do you think that they're going to be super excited to look through 24 of your stuff on August 5th? Or do you think that they're going to want to look at it as it comes in and it's going to give you time to make any corrections that you need to before the August 5th deadline? So all I can say is do not wait until the very end to get this done and to upload it to Complio.
And the reason for the August 5th deadline, just so everybody's aware, is that at the beginning of September, you will start clinicals at our clinical site on campus. We have a clinic on campus, and we see patients at that site. And so you will actually start seeing patients beginning in September. And so just as you have to meet the clinical requirements to go to a hospital, our campus facility, the Hug Clinic, you have to be cleared for that too. So that's why the deadline is coming up so quickly. Any questions about the health and safety? Yeah, Juan, go ahead.
Sorry, I just have a quick question. Danielle, you mentioned that after this meeting, you will have the Complio available for us to start uploading after today?
Well, you have to sign up for it and pay for it, but the directions to sign up for the website that you go into and detailed directions of how to do it will be available after we're done.
Okay, thank you.
So that is something that you have to pay for yourself. So just at this point in time, do not order your drug screen. Also, so you know, the drug screen has to be done through Complio for it to count. We've had so many students that go through their doctor's office and say, can you order us a drug screen? And then you have to do it again because it doesn't count. It has to be done through Complio. These are all things that you have to pay for, the background check and the immunization tracker, and the drug screen.
Yeah, Vanessa.
I had a difficult time finding a CPR class with the link that you provided. Are we able to go through American Red Cross? Or they provide different CPR classes, but it's like a CPR and AED class and also pediatrics, but I didn't look at the pediatrics one.
The CPR class, and you can do it. Those were just some suggestions, but it's, as it says in Canvas, you can go any place you want, just as long as it's for healthcare providers and it's given to you by American Red Cross. Any other provider, like Blue, I don't know, like what is there, like the other people, those don't, and it can't be all online. You have to have an in-person portion. Some of it can be hybrid, where some of it is online. And then you go in and you do the like the compressions in front of somebody, but you can go anywhere. Those were just some suggestions. You just need to make sure that it's for healthcare providers and it's given by what does it has to be by
The American Heart Association. Yeah, you misspoke there. You said the American Red Cross.
Yeah,
I just want to clarify, not Red Cross. American Heart Association. This is there is a handout that talks about where you can go. They are offering CPR over the summer at the school. If you want to sign up for the CPR courses, either HCC 109 or Respiratory 109, you can get CPR through that. But yes, it is required to be American Heart Association. They will not accept it at any clinical site if it's not the American Heart Association. So you'll just be wasting your money if you do that. One of the reasons is that some places will do a fully online CPR, and that's not acceptable.
Juan, you had a question?
Oh,
No, I just need to bring my hand down. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
What about you, Celeste?
Yes, so mine expires August of this year. Would I need to get a new one?
Yep.
Yes, you do. And the thing is that you can do anything, renew anything before it's due, but after it's due, you are in non-compliance, and if you will be taken out of like the hug clinic, you won't be able to do the hug clinic, or if you're in clinicals, you won't be able to go to clinicals. So I would suggest doing that and just being done by August 5th, because once school starts, you're going to find it's going to be hard for you to find time to get it done.
Thank you.
And also, welcome to healthcare. You're going to be doing CPR every 2 years for the rest of forever. That's just part of being in healthcare.
Yeah. So if you have the CPR card, I also highly suggest that you make sure it's through the American Heart Association, and then it's for healthcare providers, and when it is due. So even if it's due in, let's just say, October, you're going to find once school starts, it is going to be hard for you to find downtime to go to CPR and do that. It's going to be so much easier if you just do it over the summer before classes start.
Yeah, I work for Banner, so I'm sure they're going to ask me to redo it anyway, so thank you.
Yeah, so maybe if you work, you might get, if that's a work requirement, but you ask if you can sign up for your CPR class early.
All right, I will do that. Thank you.
The other thing is that you're gonna have to get a TB test. This will be an annual thing. Welcome to healthcare as well. It's a requirement in healthcare that you get a TB test every year. I would suggest that you wait a couple more weeks before you get that test. And there's there's a couple different types they can do where they will inject something under your skin. They'll watch to see if you react to it, and then you come back 2 days later. Or you can just get a blood test done called a quantiferin. That if you get the quantiferin, you just have to do it once and you're done. If you do the under skin test, the first time around, you're required to do that twice within 1 to 3 weeks apart to make sure that you don't have a false negative, because the quantiferin is now the gold standards of TB tests because it's how accurate they are. So just be aware that you need to get that done. And I would just try to really talk to your healthcare provider about getting the quantiferin, the blood test versus the underskin TB test. And just know if you do get the underskin TB test, you're going to have to do that test twice before August 5th, not the 15th. But if you get the blood test, you just have to, it's one and done.
Okay. Does that cover health and safety?
Yes, and also be prepared to get a flu shot every year too. Welcome to healthcare.
Yep, flu shots every year. Hate that. Okay, I want to just briefly talk about the pace of the program. This is a very intense program. You are going to be busy from day one till you finish. And apparently with our graduates this year, even after you should be finished, you may be busy. It is a very fast-paced program. There's a lot to learn. I had one of my seniors today in the lab with me, and she says, I can't believe how much we learned in these 2 years. And I was like, yeah, that's a sentiment I hear all the time. And she was just like you 2 years ago, sitting here thinking to herself, well, it can't be that bad. But it is. It's just a ton. It's a ton of information. You learn how to see normal ultrasounds. You learn how to perform ultrasounds. You learn how to identify pathology. You learn all about that pathology in order to know what to do with the exam. You have to learn the ultrasound machines. Okay, how do they work? That's going to be part of your responsibility. There's a ton of stuff. That's just the first semester. Okay, after the first semester, it just keeps going. Okay, so it's going to be high-paced program, fast-paced program, a lot of learning. Oh, he's so cute. Let him in. It's just a ton of stuff. So I want you to be prepared for that. We have counselors to help you. We have student services to help you. We're there to help you. Stay involved. Make sure that you stay on top of your work that you need done. And if you find yourself even thinking you're getting behind a little bit, make sure you communicate with us so that we get you in the right direction. Okay? We want to keep you going in the right direction through this whole thing. Any questions about the pace of the program or the rigorousness of it?
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Course.
Is everybody every year thinks that we're kidding, that it's going to be hard, but it's not hard. We've had a number of students, because of how much time you spend between on camp and even on campus right now is not that much compared to beforehand, but studying, we've had a number of students go through divorces because it's put a big rift on their family life. And it's something that you need to start thinking about now before you start the program. If you have a lot on your plate, you need to find resources. You need to have critical conversations with your family. Once I start school, I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need you to do this, this, and this, because I will not have the time. Like, be it like picking up the kids or, just meal prep, stuff like that, is that you need to start having critical conversations with your family now, because once clinicals start next summer and you are in clinical 40 hours a week, and then next fall, you'll be in clinicals 32, not the first fall, but the second fall, clinicals 32 hours a week plus classroom work, that is where it gets really, really hard. And you really have to have these conversations now with your family about what are you going to do about childcare once you start school? What are you going to do about, household chores? Because we have had a number of students that it maybe, I'm going to guess that probably there were already issues in their relationships, but it just made it worse, and it has caused people to separate. And the other thing is that you will not have a social life. So you need to also have conversations with your friends. Like, I don't mean to say no all the time, that I can't do this stuff, but I have other stuff that I need to do, and going out right now is not high on my priority list. Most of us can say that most of their friends told them at some point during their programs that they become very, very boring and they don't want to do stuff with you anymore. But it's like, I have different priorities. I want to finish this program. So just be aware that if you have a lot on your plate already, it's going to be worse, and you need to start having critical conversations with your family members about delegating responsibilities.
All right. Little information about the clinical sites. Certainly, as we go through the program, you'll learn more about our clinical sites. Most of them are hospitals. Some of them are imaging centers. One of the things I want to make sure you're aware of when it comes to clinical sites, we cannot always promise you to put you in the one closest to your house or wherever you live. You may end up commuting as much as 2 hours to the clinical site. Okay. That doesn't happen often, but it can. So you have to be aware that you may need to commute up to that kind of a distance. All right. So if the only place we have to put you is Casa Grande, well, you're going to be driving to Casa Grande. Hopefully we'll be picking somebody from the south side of Phoenix to go there. If you but I live on the north side of town, and from my place up to Anthem, it's probably, 20 miles. So, Anthem is certainly a place you could end up going to. It can be a long drive. It may not be that long of a drive, but remember, Phoenix traffic is not the best. So you may only be, quote, 15 miles away, and it still could be a 2-hour commute on some days. So just be aware. We do our best to put you in clinical sites close to you, but we don't guarantee it, and we don't even try to guarantee it. You will go to as close of a site as we can get, but sometimes it could be potentially as much as 2 hours away. Okay. Any questions on that tidbit of information? You good? Okay. Student services, I talked about them a little bit already. They are located above the library on campus. You can also reach them via email. Their email is on the campus website. They have tutors available for things like math and writing skills. In our program, you will be doing writing. I believe it was yesterday, we had our senior class present case studies that they had been collecting over the course of the 2 years. That we did we invited the public in and had the seniors come in and present their cases. With each of those cases, they wrote them up as if they were to be submitted to the Journal of Diagnostic Medical Sonography, and so these cases were all ready to be submitted and published. So there is writing involved in this program. Student Services has tutors to help you with that writing. There's math involved. I will be teaching you ultrasound physics. Technically, we call it sonography principles and instrumentation. Used to be called physics. But there's a little bit of math involved in that. Student Services have tutors that can help you with the math. What they don't have is tutors that can help you with ultrasound. Okay? They don't understand ultrasound. Tabby, Danielle, and I are the people on campus that understand ultrasound. If you need tutoring, you come to us during our office hours and we'll spend as much time as we have to helping you understand it. If you don't come to us for help, we can't help you. Okay? So just realize that the part about learning ultrasound, it's just the three of us that can help you. If you're have trouble though with the math or the writing part of it, the general education aspects, then you can go to Student Services and they can help you. Along with Student Services, I again want to emphasize the counseling services that are available. As Danielle said, we have had several people that are graduating now that have gone through divorces through the program. I think, I can't swear to it, but I think every cohort I've taken in, somebody's ended up with a divorce. But again, there's probably problems going on beforehand. But counseling services are available to help you. And, if you don't want to go through that situation of a divorce, get a hold of counseling and make sure that they're helping you early if there are problems. If you're in a relationship where your partner is very supportive in helping you, yay, that's good. That's what we want to see, but it doesn't always happen. So, just realize that also, in addition to the good things that we can help you with, such as the tutoring, counseling's also there to help you with other aspects of your life, and also financial things. If you get into a bind and say you need a battery for your car, go to counseling. They've got a little slush fund that they keep to help students out. If you can't afford gas this week, go see Frank. He's in counseling. Frank will help you. They're not going to pay for you to go through the program, but when things get in a bind, they are there to help you, and they will help you. You'll be amazed at what they can do for you. All right. I'm going to open it up to any general questions that you guys may have. Yeah, go ahead, Tiffany.
Oh, okay. On Canvas, it said drug testing could be June or July. I was wondering about how one would plan a vacation and if there's limits on how long you can be gone and all that.
I would say if you're going to plan a vacation, send me an email of the dates when you'll be gone. But once I send out the notice to you of when the drug testing is due, I expect it to be done within the time limit that I give you. And if you don't let me know when you're going to be gone, then I can't adjust the dates. So, you know, that's my answer to that, is let me know ahead of time and I'll work with you. But once the notice goes out, if I haven't heard from you, the notice is out, and that's that.
And can you guys explain, so is the first year the HUG clinic and then the summer is clinicals at various sites?
That's correct. Your first fall and spring semester, you'll do rotations through the HUG clinic, and it's usually about maybe every other week that you'll be there. And then in summer, the your clinical sites start, and you'll be expected to be in clinicals 40 hours a week.
Okay, and then the second year, you said it's 32 hours at
So
clinical?
summer, and then the final spring and so summer's 40 hours a week, and then your final fall and spring semester will be 32 hours a week. And just so you know, in the spring semester, we do start clinicals before the semester starts. So it's usually right after New Year's Day that you start back up clinicals again. So don't plan on taking any extended Christmas vacations. That would be Christmas, not this year, so that would be 2023.
Yeah, in May, when we begin clinicals for the summer, that 40 hours a week, that doesn't begin at the start of the school's summer semester, which is, I believe, like May or June or something. That is the beginning of the summer semester for the program, which is like 1 week after the spring semester ends.
Yeah, just so you know, once clinical start, the only real things that we follow are the school holidays, but the start and the end, or they have stuff, we get to do our own thing. So usually the summer starts a week after finals week. So you get after finals week, you get a week off, and then you start clinicals, and you go almost all the way until when the fall semester starts. You might have a week off, depending on, we call that week between the week before the fall semester is a makeup week, because sometimes in the summer, like if your sister is getting married, you can't tell your sister, well, July 17th doesn't really work for me because I'm going to be in clinicals. Can you change your wedding? So we give you a week cushion that if something were to come up that you had to do, like a wedding, that you could make up time.
Yeah, so
but just be careful. Don't look at if you go on the school websites and the academic calendar when stuff starts, we're talking summer 2023. The first fall and spring, yes, we do follow, you'll follow that. But after that, it's kind of, we get to do our own thing.
Yeah, so just as an example, this year, the actual summer semester begins May 31st, but our students will be in clinicals May 23rd. So you can see they're starting a couple weeks before the actual summer semester. The summer semester ends August 4th, and they will be in clinicals from May 23rd till August 4th. So that does hold.
Past August 4th.
Oh, they're in there past that?
Yep, they go until August,
So a week after?
August 12th.
Okay.
And then the following week is the quote unquote makeup week.
Okay, so that just gives you an example. So you know, and then in January, classes will typically start around the 23rd or 21st of,
It's usually the day after Martin Luther King.
yeah, so,
Like the
okay.
17th.
Yeah, so in 2023, it's January 16th is when classes begin, but clinicals will begin January 3rd. So,
So your first year, your fall and spring, just so you know, we're going to follow the school academic calendar, but starting summer 2023, if you can't count on the school academic calendar to tell you when you start clinicals and stuff like that. But any days that you have off or holidays on the academic calendar, we do follow that. So we do follow when the spring break is. We do follow that Veterans Day is a holiday. You get that day off. We do follow, when the Thanksgiving break is, just so you know.
Thanks for all the info.
it's a good question. Any others? Yeah, go ahead, Emily.
Yeah, I just had a question about the scrubs. I was looking at them online and I was wondering, do we need a certain type of brand? Do you guys care, or just as long as it's the royal blue color?
I'm good with royal blue right now. We used to require the Landau brand, but apparently, who is it? Apparel Pro told us that the Cherokee brand is the exact same color. I can't really tell, but you know, if it's the royal blue, kind of like my shirt, I think, then I think you're okay. Also on the scrubs, that's a good thing to bring up. So I want to let everybody know we have a lot of scrubs that have been given back to the program by people that have graduated. So if you can't afford them, or if you don't want to pay for them, you can come in and go through the bags of them that we have, and we have quite a few right now. And I'm more than happy to have you take those and use them. So if you don't want to pay for them, that'd be fine. Also on the scrubs, on the little handout I sent you, there's a little lab coat. You don't need to buy a lab coat. Okay, it's optional. You might want one. They're nice to have. They keep you warm, but you don't have to have a lab coat. So yeah, if you don't want to buy scrubs, come on down. We'll let you root through the bag, and you'll probably find some that'll fit you.
And what was the date where we can come look at the scrubs? Was there a date?
Just send me an email and we'll set up a time. Tomorrow's our last day for the semester, and I'll just be in over the summer, basically whenever we can set up a time. I don't have a set schedule.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Tiffany.
Do you guys provide masks, or do we need to buy a certain type?
If you need a mask, we'll get you one. We got masks.
Okay, thanks.
if you're used to wearing a mask and you want to continue wearing it coming into the building, that's fine. You can wear even regular old cloth mask, whatever you feel comfortable with. When you go to clinicals, you will at some point be test fitted for what we call an N95 mask. That's a mask that is effective against airborne diseases, and you would wear that mask, an N95, when you went in with, say, a patient that had COVID or MRSA or C. diff, something like that. And we would supply those N95s for you. Right now, masks are not required on campus anymore.
But they are at the Hug Clinic.
Oh, they are.
Yes, because that is a clinic. That's like it's a medical environment.
Maybe that's why they were looking at me oddly when I walked in there last time. Okay, so yeah, some places require them still. That's fine.
Brian, I have one thing I would like to say. Just there were some of you guys that were enrolled in sectional anatomy already that was listed as a hybrid class for Wednesdays. And we've actually changed that. It's still going to stay on a hybrid, but you won't be coming to the campus on Wednesdays ever. So now it should show up on your schedule when you enroll in the class on Tuesday and Thursday, but you will not come to campus on Tuesday and Thursdays. If you're in the Tuesday labs, I'll be there on the Tuesdays of the day that I'll be there. So you'll just come a little bit early on that day. If you're on the Thursday labs, then you will just come Thursday at 8:30 on the given days that you're told to be there. So the very first day of class, just come on your lab day.
You're not going to have them. Are you going to have cross-sectional in person the very first day?
Yeah, because I want to go through the schedule and I want to give them the days that they're going to be there. So the very first day of class.
So the very first day, if you're on campus all day Tuesdays or Thursdays, show up at 8:30.
Oh, okay.
Which when they enroll, it shows the time. It's just if you're in the Thursday class, don't come on Tuesday. If you're in Tuesday, don't come on Thursday. You'll just come on the one day that you're assigned to come to your other labs. I'll be there both days that first week, so I'll go over the syllabus and the structure of the class for everyone the first week, and then I'll give you the other dates that you have to show up, so then you can put them right in your phone that first day of class. So I'm planning to be there the first day. It's just there's no way to split that schedule without opening two sections of it and having you guys enroll into two different sections, and that's not necessary. So
Yeah, go ahead, Juan.
Yes, I just have a question regarding that the schedule that you were mentioning, Tabitha. I got a little help from Carmel. She going back and forth, going on an email, trying to register for these classes. And I noticed that I was placed for Monday and Wednesday. It's a 10 o'clock to 11:20 class. I think that's the DMS 120. Is that correct? And also the 220 classes as well, the one that you just mentioned.
the 220 class should be
Tuesday and Thursday, 8:30 to 9:20, it says.
correct.
And then I have Monday. Monday.
I'm drawing a
DMS.
blank on what the 120 is.
That's abdomen.
DMS 120 abdomen. 10 to 11:20. I just want to make sure that was correctly placed.
Is that hybrid?
I'm checking right now.
Um,
Yeah, it's listed as hybrid. It is on the calendar Monday, Wednesday. But I believe that is actually online.
So if you go back into that Canvas shell that says fall classes, there's a thing that says some of the things are listed that they meet at a certain time, but it does say these classes are going to be at your own pace. You don't have to be online at that certain time. All the lectures will be uploaded to Canvas and you just watch them at your leisure. So make sure you really read that Canvas thing about fall classes.
I just want to clarify, DMS 120 is listed on the schedule Monday, Wednesday. Do not come in Monday, Wednesday for DMS 120. It will be online.
Okay. And
the 220 is the cross-sectional anatomy. It is listed in the classes as Tuesday, Thursday, 8:30 to 9:30. You come in on either Tuesday or Thursday, whichever day your 110 lab is on, and that would be the day you come in. You don't have to come in on both days.
okay, I saw that. And then the 11th, the DMS 150, it's listed Monday and Wednesday, 11:30 to 12:50. Is that correct as well?
Yeah, that is another one that will be online only.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Rachel?
Yeah, so the 220 again, so when I was trying to enroll on them, because it wouldn't let me enroll the 220 because of that overlap. Because it says it's the time schedule. So how do I fix that to add myself into that class?
When did you do that? Did you try and enroll today?
Yeah, because I was having issues trying to enroll period, so it wasn't allowing me to even enroll and stuff. And I finally was able to get to do that. And then so when I was putting it all in today, for whatever reason, it wouldn't let me enroll in the 220 because of the time frame confliction.
There shouldn't be a confliction because we scheduled it 8:30 to 9:20.
Okay. Well,
And then your other class is scheduled 9:30 to 10:50, I think. Maybe
Yeah,
just
it's
try and
9:30
re-enroll
to
in it.
11.
Try again. We just made this adjustment yesterday afternoon, so it maybe hadn't updated fully in the system.
okay.
I tried
But-
today as well, and it wouldn't let me either due to a time confliction.
Let's
Okay,
give it
we'll work
another
on
try
that.
tomorrow. Maybe the system needs to cycle through and get this cleared. If after tomorrow, if you can't get enrolled in it, send me an email and I will work with enrollment services to find out how to make it happen. Yeah, Ann, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Brian. I just have a question about the 220 sectional anatomy. I already did the class, so do I have to redo it?
No,
Okay, thank you.
that's true for if you've taken ICE 220, DMS 220, and Tabby, is there one other 220 linked to that?
DMI.
DMI 220. So you may have been in other programs. I don't know everybody, but if you've taken DMI ICE 220 in the past, you don't have to take DMS 220 again. They're the same course.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, Ann, go ahead. Or is that your hand up from before? Okay.
That was, yeah, I needed to put that down. Sorry.
That's fine. Anything else? Well, if there's no more questions, how about we end this? I'll give you a few seconds here to actually think of anything. Sounds like we're ready for fall. Let's do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Take care.
Thank you for your information.
Ryan, the textbooks, can we find them online or do I have to go to the bookstore at Gateway?
You can get them anywhere you want.
Okay.
I will just pass an anecdote. I took some courses at ASU back in the day, and one of my textbooks was very, very expensive through the bookstore. And I found that they had the exact same text sold in Europe for like $25. So I bought it from a European publisher, and you know what? It was the same thing. Instead of like $200, I paid $25. If you can find the deal, get the deal. It's all good
Awesome.
stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, Val, you have a question?
I do, but it's for the three of you after everyone signs off. Just
Oh, that's
concerning
no
the
fair.
schedule.
You need to include everybody.
Okay,
Matt?
well then I just have a question.
Sure.
I don't need to take 220, but
Okay.
do I need to take 110 again?
Yes. If
If
that's
I passed it already?
yeah, because that's a cohort building course. It's in the student handbook that you need to retake 110. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw that. So basically I needed to redo everything except 220.
Yeah,
Well, that's a bummer.
sorry.
No worries.
It's okay. Maddie, you
Thank
have a
you.
question?
Yeah, so I have two questions. My first question is my class just finished today and I will get my grades on Friday. So I took a class through Rio and then I'm taking this other class through Yavapai. So I know I have to resend over my transcripts from Yavapai. Do I have to resend over the Rio, or because you guys are connected, do I have to send them over? How does that work?
Great question. I really don't know. Enrollment services will be the ones to help you with that. You
Okay.
can contact
I would
them.
even say Carmel directly. I would even go to Carmel directly and ask
Okay.
her what you need to do.
Okay, awesome. That's perfect. I will email her after then. And then my other question is, when is the deadline to register for classes? Because obviously I haven't gotten my last transcript, so I haven't been able to register because I haven't been getting any emails or anything.
So, oh yeah, you don't have the Maricopa Enterprise
do.
ID yet?
I do have a Maricopa ID because of Rio, but I haven't gotten any of the emails or anything like that.
Yeah, this was a fairly recent add to the program. So,
Have you applied to Gateway?
I believe so, yes. Yes.
yeah, send me an email with your Maricopa Enterprise ID through that account. And yeah, don't worry too much about enrollment. I believe the deadline is like a week before classes start or something like that. But there will be a place for you in there. And it's just something, I know you're up in Prescott, and we're going to have to work with you and your clinical site to get you enrolled and everything. So we'll just keep in touch over the summer and we'll get it done.
Perfect. Okay.
The only thing she's got to be concerned about is she doesn't have access to the Canvas shell until she gets enrolled, where all the information is.
Yeah, so make sure you send me that MEID as soon as possible so that we can add you to the Canvas shell.
Okay.
I tried to add to the Canvas cell multiple times and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, you have to add them with the MEID, otherwise it won't do it.
I tried both, the school
Oh, you
ID
did?
and the MEID, and it still didn't work.
Oh, so you probably do need to enroll at Gateway then. I mean, get admitted to Gateway.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that process is, but enrollment
When you
services
applied
can
to
help.
Gateway, was it recently or has it been like when you filled out an application?
It was when I filled out an application.
Okay, so go back to the Gateway main page and just reapply to Gateway, go through the little process, and it should update your profile then. Since you have a MAID, then it will probably let you start
Okay.
enrolling in that.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Alexis?
So when you guys were talking about like the drug thing and you said it had to be before June or July, we don't do that by ourselves, like go through that thing and do it whatever we want?
No.
Or no?
You'll be notified when it's time to go do the drug testing.
Oh, okay.
And again, as somebody asked earlier, what if you have a vacation planned? Then make sure you keep me informed of what your vacation plans are so that we don't send you while you're in Kansas.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, maybe you're not vacationing in Kansas. I don't know.
No.
All my vacations are in Iowa.
I think that was it. I think that was my only question. And then, so on Tuesday, since I have my lecture Tuesday, then we show up Tuesday, whatever day it says on the thingy, at 8:30.
Yeah, I'm going to rephrase that for you. Your labs are on Tuesdays, and that's when you'd show up.
Okay.
Because we're doing the lectures online, okay? So the lecture courses, which are DMS 150, DMS 120, primarily in the fall, are online. And they're listed as Monday, Wednesday in the schedule, but they're going to be online. The lab courses are the ones where you're going to come in the lab and we're going to do, I guess I would describe it as active learning. We're going to be doing actual things. Those are lab courses, and those are Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so whichever one you're scheduled for 110, come in that day early for your 220 course.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
So just be aware that according to that thing that we put in Canvas, there's an in-person, like those are the only classes that you actually need to be in person. And you either have option one, where you're there all day Tuesdays in labs and then at the Hug Clinic on Thursday, or vice versa, you're in the Hug Clinic on Tuesdays and in lab all day on Thursdays.
And you won't be going to the Hug Clinic the first Tuesday either, so don't worry about that.
Until September.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And also, Maddie, is that I just went into the Canvas shell and they let me add you into the new student Canvas shell. So you might get a request.
I was gonna say I just got an email and I accepted it and did all of that just now.
Okay, great. Colby, you have a question. I see your hand up.
Yeah, hi. Sorry.
It's okay.
Trying to take the mute off. I was just curious if the spring semester is the same with the Tuesdays and Thursdays in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, sounds like we're getting most of the questions answered. Again, this is being recorded so that if you need to review what we told you, you can. I'll get a link up soon. Anything else? All right, I look forward to seeing everybody in the classroom when we get started in the fall, and we'll have some fun. By fun, I mean long days, lots of work. All right. Thank you for attending. Bye. Why am I not surprised that Valerie and Yolanda are two left?
Tabby, I think that there is going to be a conflict with your cross-sectional because of the Hug Clinic.
I can't schedule it on a Tuesday or Thursday at all, yeah, because of Hug Clinic.
Yeah, so I guess if
Gonna have to move it back to a random day.
yeah, and then like I said, I did tell all the students that even though that's scheduled for a Wednesday or something, there are going to be certain times that you need to come in person. But yeah, I think that's what the problem is that it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the Hug Clinic starts at 8:30, and your class starts at 8:32.
They should be fine though, because if they're in Hug Clinic on Tuesday, they're in her class on Thursday.
But the problem is her class is Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's how it is there. Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's the problem I had with the 110 class.
And she wanted to add a second section, and I said no, because then I'd be loaded twice and it would be 2 sections of the class, and I don't want that at all. So I think I'll just move it back to a random day on the schedule, like a Wednesday, and then we'll just stick with them coming at 8:30.
Yeah, because that's what I even said in the little Canvas shell. I'm like, even though it says this, it's meeting this day that they're going to be, because I did ask you a couple weeks ago, are you going to have that class the first day? And you said no. So I told them, oh, you don't have to show up the first day until 9:30.
I know, but I realize they're going to be confused, just like they're confused with the classes being scheduled on Monday and Wednesday, even though they say online or hybrid. Like they don't know until they get that first week of.
Yeah, but it's just funny because in that Canvas shell I created, I made it like you might see times next to your time. You don't have to be anywhere during that time. It's going to be pre-recorded. You just can listen to whenever you want to. They just don't understand that, or they're not reading it